Yeah, the election over, a new president has been elected, and now it's time to really get down to business.
And political analyst Thom Serafin joins us to give us some insight into what it's going to take for presidential-elect Barack Obama to have a successful administration. Let's just start with Rahm Emanuel, because that's already a for sure definite. Obama's chief of staff right now. What's your thoughts on this?
I think it's a good choice for the president-elect. They know each other. They've known each other for a long time. You know, if I was going to go to war in Washington, D.C., I'd want somebody who would be a ball buster. You know, Rahm's a ball buster. He represents Chicago. And I think, you know, what's good about Rahm is that he's been there before. Few people get a chance to go back to the White House 20 years later. He's got that experience that the president-elect doesn't have. And he's got some friends on the Republican side of the aisle. And I think one of the nice things about him is that he understands how AIPAC works, the American Israel Political Action Committee. And I think yesterday when the Israelis warned the president not to be too close to Iran, I think they have an open line to Rahm Emanuel. And there are other reasons besides just having Rahm there as chief of staff.
Is he too partisan?
Well, yes, of course he is. But this is a partisan situation in Washington, D.C. But he also has been kind of a conservative. You take a look at some of the issues. I mean, he didn't vote against the war, but he wasn't in Washington when the war was voted on. But he didn't have problems with what was going on. So, I mean, he's a conservative on some issues, on foreign policy. He's a liberal on other issues. He's not the kind of guy you probably want your daughter to end up marrying, but he's certainly somebody you want to go to war with. I mean, I'd love to have him on my side if I was in combat.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I wouldn't mind my daughter marrying the chief of staff. Let's talk about how important this is to have your team in place with the economy the way it is, with the wars overseas. I mean, there's just an incredible amount of issues and problems that Barack Obama is inheriting here. How important is it, and compared to past presidencies, of getting that cabinet filled and getting those people in place so that you're ready to roll when January rolls around?
Absolutely critical. In this time of our lifetime and in the history of this country, I don't think we're in a more desperate situation. We have a young man in President-elect Obama who doesn't have a lot of experience in what's going on around the world. So he needs to surround himself with a great deal of experience. The Vice President, Joe Biden, is going to be very important. Today he's going to have a news conference at 1:30 Central Time, and it's going to probably conclude around 2:30. The markets will still be open for another half hour. We'll be able to tell the world will bet down on with their money on whether or not he's making the kind of issues that are decisions that are proper on the economic issues. Those are the issues they're going to be addressing today. He needs to show that he has a handle on the economy. In the last 2 days, we've lost 10% in the market. Yeah. The biggest drop since 1987. The world is telling us, the money people in the world is telling, do you have what it takes to be president of the United States? His first big test is today. Who's going to be part of that economic team?
Man, I wanted to talk to you about some of the other potential possibilities for the administration, including John Kerry, who's been pushing for a possible Secretary of State. Is that going to happen?
Well, John Kerry is the one who gave him the shot at the Democratic Convention 4 years ago when he broke onto the national stage and had the tremendous speech at the Democratic National Convention when John Kerry was nominated. So there's some loyalty there, and he was very good on the stump for him. So, you know, I think he's going to have a place somewhere in the cabinet. If not him, maybe Colin Powell. But the Secretary of State's office is an important one, and John Kerry has always wanted that.
They're wrapping us right now, but just one name right now that for sure that you see lying ahead here that he's definitely going to name.
Well, you know, what Dave Axelrod's going to be in the White House. Yeah. Absolutely. So as far as the cabinet is concerned, I'd like to see Paul Volcker because, you know, he stood up to Reagan. He beat inflation, although he's 81 years old. The world needs to know that we're solid economically. We're being threatened by Russia, you know, on the border of Poland with threatening to put missiles there. I mean, the world is challenging him immediately. Absolutely. And the last time we had this situation was with John Kennedy, last senator, to get elected, and we ended up with the Berlin Wall, footsteps into Vietnam, the Bay of Pigs. We had, 3 years of, tough times.
Yeah.
Sure did.
All right, Thom Serafin, thank you for, there's a lot we can talk about right now, but we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.